Hello and welcome to another episode of Lunch with Luna. And in this episode I want to talk about the state of mind that is either preparing or repairing. Now, I'll jump straight into a game reference here because I find it probably be a lot easier to discuss. So let's use League of Legends as an example. Imagine if your team was even with against the enemy team, and at the first Drake your team got aced and you lost the Drake. You're now playing from behind. Now there's a lot of preparation that goes into objectives like this, or in the game in general. If you're playing at a high level, your coaches or analysts will be the best people to discuss as to why you lost that Drake, etc., or how you should be taking it, etc. I'm not here to discuss about those scenarios, but what I am here to say is that it starts from before the game even you get into the champ select. You would have an idea as to how you want to acquire that Drake, whether you even want to take that Drake, or whether you want to take a different objective on the map to trade the objectives. It is a different question. But once you're in champ select and both the teams are locked down, you now have a very good idea as to how you should play your team comp and how they would play their team comp, where your power spike is, where their power spike is, at which point is optimal for you to fight, if you're going to fight at all, or or whether there's different objectives that you should be focusing on. Now, let's say we went into that and we did all that preparation, and the fact that we need to be, let's say, 3 steps ahead to win the game. Well, we now probably, because of that loss, are, I don't know, 6 to be even and then 9 to be to win the game now. Now those numbers are not factual, okay, but you get my point. You're quite behind. You're now in a state that you're repairing from the mistakes that's happened before you can get to catch up to a point where you can start fighting to win. If you're constantly in a repairing state, you're working from the past. If you're prepared for the situation, you can move forward a lot more swiftly. Now, if you're not prepared, you're going to have to spend time repairing. And if you're repairing, it means that you're playing more reactively than proactively. So you're now actually playing into the opponent's hands, as opposed to the opponent playing towards your hand and how you want them to respond to you. You don't have the dictatorial state inside the game to say, hey, we want you here, we want to fight here, and if you don't fight here, we'll take everything. You're now falling into that state. So as a shot caller, the preparation to coordinate the team is very crucial. You want to make sure that everyone knows what they need to do, what their roles are at certain points in the game. Now, this is, of course, now discussed outside the game too, so you should have a skeleton as to how you go about playing a game, where your priorities are, etc. Now, the game changes, it's dynamic. That's why the game's fun, because there are 1,000,000,001 scenarios that could happen. But you map out those that you want to pursue, and you basically move forward with that. I find that this is also true for if you're wanting to build up an organization or building up a team. If you don't prepare the team in the right state, you're going to have to do a lot of repairing. So here's an example. If you were to build up an organization and you look for new staff, but you don't set out the guidelines as to where you want to go, what you're expected of the staff members, for example, or what kind of vision you have for them moving forward, then they could be going anywhere. Now, when they do that, some mistakes are a lot more costly than others. And if you can eliminate the process of them falling into those mistakes, you can now work moving the time forward, and you can allow the creativity of your staff to explore new revenues. If you're constantly in a state of repairing all the mistakes that the staff has made, or you have made, or the staff is repairing the mistakes that you have made, their creativity is now strangled and working from behind, and you're constantly focusing on yesterday than planning for tomorrow. I hope that makes a lot of sense to you, and if you've got any comments or suggestions as to what topic we can be talking about, please feel free to leave comments or suggestions below. If you like our videos, feel free to subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at TCA eSports, and send us a thumbs up at facebook.com/TCA eSports. Until next time, Luna at TCA eSports.